Crystal Palace 2, Man City 2. That is such a bad result for Guardiola and Man City. You feel with the Storm delaying the Liverpool game against Everton. We don't know when that's going to be rescheduled. And obviously Arsenal playing on Sunday. It allowed Man City to put massive pressure back into the title race. It really did. With a great result against Nottingham Forest. People talking about Kevin De Bruyne coming back. Massive plaudits about Jack Grealish as well. You go to Crystal Palace, who have been poor this season. They've definitely improved in the last couple of weeks. And you give a goal away in 5 minutes. You're 1-0 down straight away. It's so bad. A draw feels like a loss. And the nature of the result, the Rico Lewis sending off, the constant chronic injuries to the back line as well. It's so frustrating. And I really do think this City side are basically down to 5% chance of winning the title. It'd be a miracle upon miracles, to the likes of which I've never seen with Man City. You can't come back this far. If Liverpool win their game in hand, it's 11 points. You make 1 point up in the title race, and then Liverpool just win their game. You just drop 2 points. And Liverpool players have got their feet up watching TV, eating a rich tea digestive. And City have kind of given points to Liverpool while they're resting. And they can now reconstitute their season, and they can focus on things in a slightly different manner, because City have allowed them to have a little bit more out of this match round, and they're not even playing. It's absolutely criminal. I'm so frustrated. And it's not like I'm talking about prime Barcelona. I'm not talking about Inter Milan or, talking about Chelsea away or Spurs away. I'm talking about Crystal Palace, with all due respect. And it's always been a hard place to go. Even in the Centurion season, it was hard. Even in any of the title-winning campaigns for City, it's genuinely been really hard against Crystal Palace. Not at home all the time, even though there's been some mad results there for Palace as well. But Selhurst Park's a tough place to go. The atmosphere is electric. The Storm as well, it is a factor. The winds are crazy in London. But you always felt that City were getting on the ball quite well, creating opportunities. We're going to break down all the goals and what went so wrong today. I'd rather City lose 4-0 on some level. You never want to see the side that you supported all your life lose 4-0, of course not. But on some level, I think it would waken Guardiola up. I mean, he's making the same decisions. Rico Lewis in midfield. I know he scores that goal. We'll talk about it in a minute. Kyle Walker in right back. The City side can't play Akanji there because he's got an injury. John Stones as well. But I still feel like playing these two guys together is just not working on any level, and you have to just bring in the kids. You really do. Someone has to come in for either Rico Lewis or Kyle Walker, and Rico Lewis plays right back. That's just my initial reaction. But if you made it this far, obviously make sure you subscribe to the channel. Would really appreciate it. We're going to break down all the goals and where this leaves the title race with Liverpool and playing Fulham. And obviously Arsenal playing Fulham and Liverpool to come as well next week. The first goal, I mean, they're 4 minutes in, and there's this little ball gets played around the corner from Will Hughes. I think it's Will Hughes. I mean, Will Hughes is getting made to look like prime Zico, prime Kaká. I mean, it's absolutely outrageous how much space he had in that midfield. Again, who's playing the midfield on that side of the pitch? With all due respect, it's Rico Lewis, it's Ilkay Gundogan, it's Bernardo Silva. They can't get anywhere near the distance covered and the intensity of the distance of the pressing. The midfield it feels vacuous, it feels empty, and it's allowing the back four to be really, really exposed. And it's strange as well. And you look at it, and the ball gets played around the corner. You're not sure if Guardiola's a centre back in a 3. Is he a left back in a 4? It changed off the ball into a 4, but with the ball it became a 3. So you're losing the width of these fullbacks. You think about Liverpool's fullbacks bombing forward. Think about Jurgen Timber for Arsenal bombing forward. You feel that the City side have got no leverage from the fullback position because Kyle Walker's worried defensively. He's lost a yard of pace. Then you've got kind of Rico Lewis coming in and out of left-hand side of midfield. But then you've got Gvardiol there as well. It's just not working. The dynamic is not working. And City actually losing attacking output from the back four. Again, it's not always his fault, Guardiola, because there's so many injuries. But it's a real linear, non-dynamic back four. The ball gets played around the corner. It's a great finish from Munoz. And obviously, they're not allowed to celebrate, the Palace fans. Of course not, because VAR has to double-check. They got everything right. It's a clear and obvious onside. Kyle Walker's playing him on a country mile. So yeah, you're 4 minutes in and you're 1-0 down. You think, this is Palace, with all due respect. I mean, where's the grit? Where's the steel for Man City? I'm not saying City has to smash and steamroll every side ever. And I've got a massive respect for Glasner. I do. And Palace as a football club. It's a hard place to go. But 1-0 down after 4 minutes, it's frustrating. 30 minutes in, Erling Haaland makes it 1-0 with a great little header. Across the keeper. Nothing that Henderson could have done about it. It's a great ball from Mateus Nunes, who again I thought was a bright spark in the City side. I really did. I thought he was fantastic. Haaland missed a big chance just before De Bruyne played him in. He hits the keeper straight in the face first time. I think it was De Bruyne played him in, and you're looking for something low, bottom of the net. He's still clutching at chances. Still a great goal for Haaland, but he is still clutching at chances. Probably could have had a hat trick today if he was on form. Maybe this Haaland dip in form says a little bit about if Haaland's not in bang hot form. Even last season when he scored 30 in the league, the season before when he scored 52 in 53 appearances, 52 goals, are this City side being buoyed up by astronomically, outrageously inflated numbers from Haaland? That's what I worry about, because it felt like this City side can't chip in with goals from any other angle. You never felt that Savini was going to get a goal today. You never felt that anyone else. It obviously took a Rico Lewis wonder strike to get City back into the side, into the game. But it never feels like Bernardo Silva's in a position to score loads of goals. De Bruyne's in and out the side because of injuries. Like, where are the goals? Where are the goals coming from if it's not Erling Haaland? And if his numbers aren't alien big, it's like, yeah, he scored a great header. That's what most people do. Most strikers, Mateta's a great striker for Crystal Palace, right? He's a great Premier League striker. He'll score one and miss two. Haaland did that today. He scored one and missed two. That's just normal. That's a normal striker. So is this City side a little bit over-reliant? Well, it definitely is over-reliant on Haaland's numbers being outrageous, because if they're not, and he comes back down to earth a little bit, just even if you say being back down to earth is 30 Premier League goals a season, which is still outrageously good, like it was last season, do you need Haaland to basically score 40 goals a season in the league to give you these inflated results? And that is a little bit of a concern, that you're too reliant on Erling Haaland. That's just how I see it. In the second half, Crystal Palace make it 2-1. Lacroix, gets in there, scores a great goal, and I actually thought it was going to finish 2-1. I couldn't believe City got back in it. City were so poor in the second half, really. And the substitutes, they came on late. Jack Grealish must be scratching his head. Jeremy Doku, the only other substitute, came on. He only had about 12, 13, 14 minutes to operate. Played on the right, then he moved to the left where he's less functional. No one's telling him to stick to the wing that he was probably told to come on for. And he caused some havoc, but nothing major. Nothing that was really cutthroat. Again, you're playing into this Crystal Palace back five, aren't you? When they got 1-0, it was 2-2. They got something to fight for. It's going to be hard to break them down, particularly at Selhurst Park. So it's frustrating. The substitutions, again, I'm always going to bow down to the judgment of Guardiola. Some fans can't do that because they legitimately hate their manager, and that happens to a lot of football clubs. I love Guardiola. He's the best manager I've ever seen in my life. Unless there's an injury, I have no idea why Jack Grealish started late in this game. I have no idea why he came on so late. It makes no sense. The only thing is he's just come back from a major injury, played lots against Nottingham Forest. You rested him for the Champions League game, which is big, based on league form in that competition as well as the Premier League. Then the Manchester derby coming up as well, which is absolutely huge. That's the only thing I'm thinking. He's trying to play games and just get minutes back into the legs in a savvy way. But Grealish just has to start this game, in my opinion. I think you have to start Grealish, put Kyle Walker out the side, and then Rico Lewis at right back, and then Gvardiol, Diaz at centre back. Diaz had a good game today. Gvardiol looks a little bit out of sorts. And then you just have a midfield of Gundogan and Jack Grealish. Bernardo Silva comes in for Savio, and you just got far more control, far more midfielders that are able to knock the ball around. How's Jack Grealish not starting this game? I mean, it's just mental after how good he was so good against Nottingham Forest. Again, I'm always going to respect the manager and actually say maybe there's an injury that I don't understand. But if there isn't an injury to Jack Grealish, he's fully fit, and he looks like he was fully fit. He came on, he was running around, looked very lively, linking up play. Then what's going on? Why is he not starting this game? Because you felt that there was a sniff of an opportunity for City to actually go there and get a win, and back-to-back wins. Confident against United, always will be based on the last 5, 6, 7 years. 3 wins in a row, 4 wins in a row, 5. Christmas. Liverpool have a bit of dip in form, hopefully, or Arsenal. Suddenly it's 5, 6, 7 wins in a row. The momentum's completely gone. And you've not really learnt much about this side except that the injuries are chronic. The back line looks stiff. That there is no midfield. There's no power. There's no punch in the midfield. And Erling Haaland's clutching at chances. I still don't know if Núñez is a left winger. Savio's form is concerning. I think he started the season so well. De Bruyne gets taken off when you're thinking you're chasing a game. It's like, I know he can't play 85 minutes all the time, but you're chasing a game. Juve, a week till Man United. I think he's 5% out of the. I think he's a little bit wrong by about 5-10% on everything he's doing. Pep Guardiola. I think he's making substitutions a little bit late. The starting lineup's not quite right. He's trusting players that I don't think he should be trusted anymore. There isn't much depth on the bench, and I'm not going to sit here and say City have spent billions and it should have a bench full of a £1 billion bench, because it's just not the case. And the City side have been very profitable, sold a lot of players. You look at the bench and you think. Wilson Esbrand, James McAtee, Nico O'Reilly on the bench. Got two keepers, Edison, Scott Carson, Jacob Wright. I mean, none of these guys are really fit to play really in their age. You've got a defender, Simpson as well. It's tough. The only one is James McAtee. Can he come in midfield and shore things up? And he's not trusted, even though he had a great season last season on loan at Sheffield United. I don't know. There are too many questions posed with a 2-2 draw. Does it write you out of the title race? Is it make you as bad as you are? Is it one of those freak Crystal Palace results? It's not. It's not at all. They were better. They probably deserved the win, let alone the draw. Let's just talk about the Rico Lewis sending off and the goal. Rico Lewis, I think it's a little 1-2 flick into the box. Bang, he hits it into the roof of the net. Just before that, he had a chance on his left foot to cross it into someone, and he had no power in it. So to get him on his right foot, and that's why it's strange that he's playing on the left-hand side of midfield when City had the ball, and he's kind of having to tuck in all this time facing inward. He can't stretch to play when he's on his left foot. So I don't know why he's playing on the left at points. Didn't get that. But then he was able to get his body around the ball, lift it into the roof of the net. It's a beautiful finish. Then he gets sent off, one for dissent, the other one for a 50-50, which is very, very lightweight. It was very, very lightweight on, I'm not sure, might have been Munoz again involved with that. But it's a 50-50 and you get sent off. There's another player that City, can't have for the following game. So, players have to come back from injuries. Maybe it will improve, but at this current stature, with it being stormy outside, people's bins being thrown into the street, Man City are out of the title race, I think, basically. It'd be a miracle. It'd be a Christmas Day miracle, wouldn't it? It really would. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you made it this far, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you very, very soon.